know that win or lose, Anthony was going to retire on Saturday?
No, not that he would retire on Saturday, but we talked about retiring and the end of the career for some time. And I know he has an interest in other things he wants to do in life. We talked about it a lot, and we had an idea of, we talked about of getting the belt and then probably drop it in the middle. You know, there was like an idea that we had, that he had, and that we talked about, but I didn't really knew that on Saturday that he would retire.
Are you surprised he actually went ahead with it? I mean, it's one thing to talk about, it's another thing to actually do it. When you heard that he actually did it in the cage, did that kind of surprise you?
Well, I was right after the fight. I was on the cage, and he came to me, speaker, and he said, "I fucked up, you know, something." And I said, "Come on, man. I know it's hard, but keep your head up. It's already done." This is what the coach had to say after a loss. You cannot just at that moment talk about stuff. And I was at the cage, and he said, "Keep your head up, you know. Just go on. Let's go." Then I stepped off, and it was very busy in the cage, so I walked back to put another shirt on, and I wanted to wait him at the doctor's place. And when I was in the back, I heard that he was like saying that he was retiring and looking for me and looking for other people, and I was like, oh shit. And I was on the way back, then I saw him at the curtain, and then when he was with me and he cried with me and he talked to me and everything, then it really fell through. But I'm not surprised because, again, we talked about it. I'm already 6 years with Anthony. I know him for so long, and this last couple of months just been difficult to all of us with all the stuff that happened. It was a crazy time. We're getting in better waters now, and we were just hoping that it was like a next thing for us. And also we're beginning 6 years ago and ending like with the title, and it was just hard. Like he was very disappointed. I was very disappointed too as a coach. So. It was strange for me to hear that he did it there, but that was his moment and Anthony's moment. So he did it when he thought it was good, and I think we all need to respect it, and I respect it. And I had my moment with him alone, and I think that's very important because before everybody else started talking about it, I got a lot of bad shit over me and everything. You know how it goes on the social media. When everything is good, everything is good. Like I leaving my fighter as well. I never left anybody. Especially me and AJ, we were very good together, and that's all unimportant, you know. It's just people just start spreading out stupid stuff, and like him quitting the fight and just throwing the fight, all kind of stuff, man. It's all bullshit, you know. That's has nothing to do with our sport.
What was the game plan, Henry? What was the game plan, and did we see the game plan in the fight?
Come on, man. First of all, you know me. I always talk about game plans. I was a fighter myself. The game plan, it was very simple. There's only one game plan that you need to do. Is not wrestle or not come close to DC. And AJ is a guy who normally does that. I mean, he doesn't want to wrestle because his strength is in his striking and stand up and everything. So this has nothing to do with the game plan, nothing to do with training, because in training he didn't really do much different than he normally does. So the game plan was not to wrestle anybody, and or it was in his own mind that he wanted to do that, but it was not the game plan. And if you look at some guy just sent me this morning the corner stuff that they read out in the corner what happened, and you see that nobody really wanted him to wrestle. Nobody wanted him to come close to DC because it's going to be like playing the other guy's game. Although I always said the whole time that DC not has bad hands, I think Anthony's strength is always there. And me as a striker, I always prefer fight start standing up. I always prefer the knockouts and stand up. So my game plan is always to stand up, take a distance, take your time for every fight, and just try to look where your strengths are. And that's not grappling and wrestling against the cage, you know.
So why do you think he did that?
Well, that's another thing. If you ever fought before, and again, it's just in general to everybody that listens here. If you were a fighter, you ever had fight before, and especially a couple of fights, especially at the level, and sometimes stuff happens, and sometimes you can't explain. Only the fighter can explain, not the trainer, not the audience, nobody. Only the fighter himself knows what at that moment makes him make these mistakes or do stuff that's wrong, but also the stuff that goes good, and he knocks people out at the straightest moments or with a strange kick or whatever. Sometimes stuff goes on in the fighter's mind. People don't understand. it's not so easy to explain. And again, you can be the best coach in the world, you can have the best training partners, but when you go in the cage and closes, it's you that has to do what he has to do and where he's good at. And if you don't do it, for what kind of reason, Anthony knows, and he will figure out the next couple of days. You can't, right after the fight, say, this was wrong, that was wrong, this was wrong. Oh, he didn't follow the game plan, and blame everything on him alone or whatever. There's nothing to do with the game plan stuff. It happens at that moment when you're alone with your opponent, and you make decisions at the wrong moment, wrong time. And that's only fighters that fought themselves before really has these moments before. They know what it is. Sometimes stuff just happens, and sometimes stuff just blocks. And maybe he was more busy with retiring than not. We don't know. People are talking about it. We don't know what is going on in his mind at that moment. But I know one thing. If the normal AJ would showed up at that night, it would be a total different fight. So that's all I know as a coach. And I was really surprised what happened there, like all of us. We were really, really surprised what happened there. And only AJ knows, because he can do so much better than what he did Saturday. But again, the fighter fights, he knows better than everybody, you know?
So I've read the transcript of what you and the rest of the corner were saying, and it's clear that you were getting very frustrated. What was going through your mind, and did you at some point just say, you know what, I'm done shouting instructions here. I have no way to justify what is happening in this fight?
Yeah, but that's true. That at one moment I was just like, I don't even need to talk anymore, because it's already too far away, you know. I mean, the grip of a coach. Sometimes I have these good moments that he can pull somebody through at the last moment, at the last round, with Eddie, with his eye, with Gilbert. Some fighter, you can say to your fighter, "Let's go, man! You see the other guy's tired, you can still pull it off." But if three people are screaming in the corner and everybody's saying the same stuff, and you don't do it, then at one moment you need to leave it and let the fighter figure it out, you know. And if he doesn't figure it out, then what can you do? And again, I tell you not because I want to say that the fighters don't know what they're doing. I've been knocked out. I lost fights too. I know it. I know what it is sometimes. Your head is just not there. You listen to the voice. You hear the corners. You know what you need to do, but it's just not there. And that was happening. And I recognize that. And then I can scream even more, but it doesn't help anymore. And then you can just sit back. You just need to sit back and hopefully let him figure it out. And then when you see a new moment, you can jump in there. But to scream with 4 or 5 people, and Anthony's not listening again, I know him for 6 years, then it's just better to be quiet, you know, because it doesn't help.
Could you tell us what he has planned for the future? What's his job that he's talking about?
Well, I first of all, I'm not going to go into these details because I don't know the real details, but everybody sees his pages, and it has to do with football. And
so it is something with the LA Rams.
I think so. Listen, I'm a European guy. I know everything about soccer, but not about the NFL. Sorry about that.
Okay, fair enough.